Hello and welcome again. I'm back in Florida with Dr. Robert Morse, my good friend, mentor, and just an amazing guy that never stops giving and never stops coming across to all of us with his great energy, ideas, and life-changing information for those that are willing and ready to listen
Fun
and
stuff.
to implement.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, look what you've done. This is your third book.
Yes.
That's pretty good. Take a look at this, guys. And this is the kind of books we need out there, where it's just, hey, taking no crap. Take a look at this one. Take a look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Take a look at that. Taking no bullshit. Love it, love it, love it. Very spiritual book on how to connect to yourself again. Incredible book here, guys. You'll have to get it. This is pretty neat stuff. Comes in hardback and paperback.
Yeah, it does. Well, it's not going to be a book commercial, this, but thank you. Thank you so much.
That's pretty neat. Yep.
Yeah.
You know, this has always impressed me about you, because you took this, you took it, you ran it, you had your ups and downs, considerable. There was times where you didn't know whether you're going to stay in your body or not. Remember that you were telling me you had to keep yourself in your body.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going, whoa, you need to ground, because you were out there. I mean, but that's what it is. And so, very important. And there's new research that's so exciting. I was going to break this on our video, on a video I was going to do today, but let's break it on your
let's
video.
break it. Yep.
Because some people already know this out there. Some of you guys had sent it to us, but we found it also.
Okay.
And this is new science. There's new scientific evidence. And let me read this to you. This article was written by Sarah Napton. She's the science editor at the Telegraph. And her first statement is, "Would you Adam and Eve it?" ?
Oh.
What they have found is fruit may have been the making of mankind.
Wow.
They claim now, they have evidence to claim that it's the fruit that made the primate's brain grow so big.
Okay. Yes. And then they have told us for years that we have evolved because we started to eat animal protein, right?
Stupid.
Yeah.
That's exactly right, Hilde.
Bullshit.
Exactly. Bullshit. That's exactly right. More of what you said here. More of the propaganda. More of the lies.
Yeah.
They kind of say that the protein is what made man. But no, not at all. It was the fruit. Now, the important thing here is tie this in to what you guys know to be true in your healing. That when you have an MS, a Parkinson's, or Lou Gehrig's case, that you're not going to go very far if you use vegetable matter. If you use fruit matter, you're going to regenerate neurologically. That fits into with this scientific evidence that they're finding. It's because of the high amount of fruit that primates ate that made the brains grow to the size that they are, and that they filled the humans. Of course, to tie that in also to the fact that we were islanders as first species. Yes. We were cavemen. That's an illusionary concept. That was a migration concept. We're actually islanders. Just because we migrated to the caves doesn't mean we were cavemen. Yeah. We were maybe looking for stuff, but we found...
running from stuff.
Running from stuff. Probably. We found negativity. We found the decay of the human being by cooking their foods, trying to survive in northern environments when we're islander species. It all just fits and makes sense, don't it?
It does. And now, just because of you, people have been doing this for a longer period of time. Exactly. More people have been eating fruit.
More fruit.
Making this into the living truth, not just science, but science by experience. And I experienced by myself that I naturally do not eat or get drawn to any vegetables anymore. I naturally gain my strength and my weight through eating less and through eating more and more pure fruits in mono meals, simpler, with less complex vitamins and minerals and lipids on the plate.
Not enough for people to go, oh, well, where's your nutrition? You're not getting enough nutrition. How come you're so healthy? How come you're so vibrant?
This is a big thing.
Big thing. It's a big thing. And that's another one of this misconceptions is that we need to eat so much. Because Hilde has fixed her digestion, she's fixed her absorption, she's fixed her utilization, and she's fixed it by fixing her elimination. Yes. So what she has now, whatever she eats, she gets full bore of it.
And now you're hydrated.
Exactly. Totally. I mean,
as long as you're hydrated, your body is like this alchemist. That's what I find.
It is.
It is taking in the pure energy from the gods, from the fruit trees, and it's transforming it and using it as it sees fit. We have gone into our mental brain trying to break everything down, looking at things, saying, "Oh, I see vitamin B. Let's eat it."
Yeah.
And now we're seeing, we can break everything down, but it doesn't mean that we have to ingest it. I mean, we just found it, but the bot.
See, that part of what you're bringing up too is important. And we're fixing to do a video. It's going to be myself, Pat, and maybe Marcy. We'll see. But someone sent me basically this is a quote by a medical. It sounds like a medical doctor, feel, smell, presence, and so it's their take on blood pH, and he cuts naturopaths, he cuts ourselves down, and of course they're into the proteins, the amino acids and stuff, and he does this in a very narcissistic manner. So I want to do a video to expose their whole thinking process around that, because it's their look on biochemistry. And when you understand how allopathic has misconstrued things,
false beliefs,
exactly, and then and we're going to debunk his whole thing, but also show you that proof's in the pudding.
It is, exactly.
You can make claims and you can bring your theories all to the table if you want, but the proof is in the effect of your claim. Let's see the effect of what your claim is. What's your effect? So when we look at medically, we see extreme deaths, extreme maiming of the human body. So how many deaths worldwide each year, allopathically? 50 million, 75 million people a year. I mean, staggering numbers worldwide, deaths from cancers and the treatment of these things. So staggering statistics.
And we're now, like I said, we're now proving it through living it. Now we can go through surgery. We can, we can live in this world and contradict everything, saying, no, you don't have to have protein to heal fast. Exactly. No, you don't have to ingest high vegetable matter and count your amino acids to heal fast or to rebuild tissue.
Isn't that amazing?
It is not the truth.
It's not the truth.
No. And that's why I see it so important, with clients. The false beliefs is so deep that even after a week on fruit, even if you mentally have read it and you believe it, people get shaking thinking, oh my God, I'm going to get malnutrition. I'm not going to get what I need. I'm going to get sick. I'm going to have an eating disorder.
I know. You can correlate this with so many things. Look at all the evidence we're piling. Like just
look at this. Science, this is
science
amazing.
Stories like this. And when you start piling it on, and we're showing you in Science News and Townsend and other papers the issue of protein and the effect that protein has negatively on the body and on the cell. Not positive effects, negative effects that protein has on the human body. So the thing is starting to shift, but slowly, allopathically. But our field is like, people are waking up right away.
We're growing.
Oh yeah, we're growing.
The winning team.
We should, because we've been so suppressed by their theories and stuff, and no one's come out and dispelled them. We are now coming out and going to lay them right open and say, your theories are totally wrong. They don't match chemistry. They don't match physics. They don't match science. And in this letter, he's saying that we're not scientific, and he's about pHs and bicarbonates and stuff. And he also brought up some interesting things, because we talk about alkalization, but then he's talking about the acids that we recommend. We recommend pantothenic acids, the Bs, and then we recommend ascorbic acids. No, we don't.
No.
I don't.
No,
we don't. Some people do, but again, I've been talking against.
They're looking at the blood.
Exactly. I've been talking against vitamin C because it's ascorbic acid. People have been putting it in their veins. It's an acid.
And it's an isolate.
And it's an isolate.
Nature never operates.
Exactly. It's only the medical doctors that like isolates. It's Linus Pauling, a medical doctor, who we just picked it up. Oh yeah, that's good. We weren't thinking. See, we haven't been strong. Our field has not been strong. Now we're developing strength in all of you guys, and they can't. This is what you get with strength. That's what you get with strength. No bullshit.
It's about taking back your
Right
power,
down.
you know?
Taking
It's
back
like
the power. Taking back truth.
And feeling you're valid, that, you know, the validity.
Oh, yeah,
we don't
yeah,
need
yeah,
to look to scholars, you know,
Exactly.
to know the simple things in life, what to eat. There's no other species that walks around, that I know of, discussing what to eat. You know, it's not their main issue. I mean, look in the news today. Look at what they're telling us. Propaganda. It's about what to eat. And people are looking around saying, well, everything's unhealthy now because they read articles. There's an agenda behind everything. There's an agenda behind everything. And we have to remember that. So what I see is the most important things to get people to change is not only to get this, like intellectually, you can get this, but you have to be willing to get, you know, to just let go of everything that somebody taught you. You know, you have to
apply it.
Yeah.
Apply
you have to nil out everything else that you were ever taught.
I think the human just on this planet got stagnant. They got stagnant for a lot of reasons. The diet, first of all, brought you down.
Yeah.
If this scientific evidence is even halfway true, then we see it when we're regenerating tissue when we use fruit.
Yeah.
So we know we have a good link to this scientific evidence here. So looking at that, the power of that is, like you said, the fruit. People don't understand the power of the fruit, and people think, oh, fruit's too acidic, fruit's not healthy,
too much sugar.
There's too much sugar, and it's like all of that's false. And the nutritional content, remember I told you about this 3-doctor professor friend of mine, feels fruit has the highest nutrition of all the foods. So when you start comparing, you start coming back, oh, wait a minute, fruit is one of the most powerful forms of food on the planet, and the highest energetically.
I was going to say, what is nutrition? It's much more than vitamins and minerals.
Totally.
It's almost like a byproduct, you know? It's energy.
It is a byproduct. It's energy.
energy.
So we say energy, okay? So we know living foods is energetic. We know when we cook them, we destroy that, right? But let's take it a step further for you spiritual guys and gals. What is energy? Consciousness. So you're eating consciousness. You're eating, we get a little more involved on your tapes, but we're eating the consciousness of God. We're eating the consciousness of that plant. Why was that plant here for? You know, God doesn't make something for no reason.
No.
There's a reason exactly that plant exists, and it's in its focus, in its effect, all of it.
And none of us were born with a cooker up our butt.
It's true.
You know, I mean, and there were no blood tests in nature. I mean, we invented all of this through fear and control. That's where it comes from. If you step back from all of that,
we started getting sick. We started eating the proteins, eating the grains,
and we wanted to fix it.
And we got sick.
Yeah.
And so we didn't realize it was the food source making us sick,
No.
eating the wrong food for us.
Yeah.
And I find this very interesting too, because when you go back to the high protein thinkers, it doesn't fit anywhere. Matter of fact, the only species we see that is in a high protein stance is going to be your carnivores. And if you look at that and watch these shows, when they bring down a big, they go right to the gut.
Yeah,
pre-digested amino acids.
Yeah.
Because they have a hard time dealing with the proteins. That's why they sleep all the time. They have spurts of energy, but they have very low energetic stamina, stuff like that.
They're explosive.
Exactly. They're explosive, and then they got to go rest.
And their intestines about that long.
About that long. So
in, out.
So you can see that even the bears don't eat the meat like people thought. I thought bears were big meat eaters. Then
they were like the berries.
The berries and the black bears. They claim it. I've talked to rangers up in the Smokies and stuff like that. The black bears are the least of the protein eaters. Amazing.
I think a lot of, when you look in society today, you said we're eating ourselves sick, but we're eating ourselves sick to the point where we think that the sick is the normal healthy.
Yeah.
Like in my, every woman is going to go through menopause. That's why this is, it's about a lot of people, and every man is actually going to go through a transition as well. And there are a lot of men that are connected to women, so it's something. But we are so used to and conditioned to accept that is a condition that will come with symptoms in a negative effect, and that we should medicate or take hormones, and we don't even see it as something off or an imbalance. You're not supposed to have hot flashes. You're not supposed to have cramps. You're not supposed to be depressed. You're not supposed to experience these things, because your body transitions It's just showing you the health of your plants, of your systems.
The sad thing is, it reminds me of a society that makes the woman feel bad, feel negative. Our society is male-driven, and this planet's male-driven at this time, and that's why you see so many wars. I've said this many times in chemistry. To me, the male principle is the acid side of chemistry. The feminine principle is the base side of chemistry, which is the healing side of chemistry. If you look at that real close, you'll see that. And you bring up a good point. We accept the radical as now the norm because of the allopathic community claiming that these are natural processes. But you've seen in your case where you've had no symptoms in your movement through menopause.
Yeah.
And I've said this about monthly cycles as well. Some women have gross bleeding, heavy clotting, pain.
Yeah.
It just shows the level of acidosis that your body's in. And when you get out of that, there's no pain in menses. As a matter of fact, we've talked this time many times on YouTube about the women just spot.
Yeah.
Why would you bleed excessively if you're clean? If you understand why that cycle exists in the first place for the feminine principle. You're the one that bears life. And so that area has to be clean all the time. So it's a nice cleaning process.
And this is great news. I mean, people should get excited about this. And that's what tells me, how much crap and bullshit's out there. Because people get defensive. And they want to prove you wrong. And they want,
Oh, yeah,
but
they can't.
This is good news. This is all good news.
Extremely for women. If I was a woman and I'm monthly bleeding like that, no thank you. I'm going to change what I eat.
And everything you stand for, everything about the fruit,
exactly.
It's all good news.
Isn't it all good news?
It's all the message of healing. It's all the message of repair and awakening.
Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, your book, it says power up and grow free. Yeah. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is about you. This is about the self. And powering up the self. And that's exactly where I've watched her rhythm through her books and your rhythm through this, and this is where you're going. You're taking care she took care of business, and now she's taking care of her greater business. Yeah. Her reason she's on the journey, she's at the self, the true self, and that's what this is all about.
And actually this book has, I think in the beginning I write that this book was actually written before the other ones were.
Oh, wow.
Even though it wasn't, it was.
I got you.
This is actually the first one.
I got you.
But it has to be the third one.
Exactly. I got you. I got you totally.
And it's all connected. It's when you start cleaning your physical body, you are enabling your whole being to live, decluttered and unconstricted.
It's interesting you say that because when I was driving here this morning, I was thinking one big word, and what's that Purnell? He's a singer. He was on The Voice. He wrote a book. He wrote a song called Freedom.
Yeah.
And he did this. I saw it in a church, and he sang it in a church with a big choir, and I'm telling you, that got me out of my seats, and freedom, kingdom, and it was just, that's the key word, because when you don't realize free, you're trapped. Freedom is that nirvanic expression of the infinite, that you realize that you're part of that fabric.
And that's why you are the only one you have been waiting for, because people keep waiting for someone up that leap for them.
This is vital.
To get you to be free.
Exactly.
They can't.
It's vital that what you just said, because everybody's seeking a soulmate, they're seeking God, they're seeking things outside of themselves, and you'll never find them. You can find people you're very compatible with. Yeah. That's good, but
support.
But you're the only one that left standing out of the forest burned down.
Yeah.
Thank God. Your word, you're the one.
Thank God.
Thank God. But when you pull back enough, you are amongst all of us.
Yes.
We're all you. At one level, when you move your consciousness back to the infinite, we're all here. We're all here. And it's amazing.
Once you're in that, you can't even see the support.
Exactly.
You can't see it.
Yeah, because you're it.
Yeah.
It's emanating from your essence. You're the essence that all life emanates out of anyway. But it's not the body isn't the essence. This is just your car you're using. So what part of you is the essence? And it's the consciousness. It's your awareness behind the thoughts that you think, behind the feelings that you feel. who's that looking through those eyes?
Who's
and
the traveler?
that's who she's addressing. Yeah. Who's the traveler?
Who is the traveler?
Mm-hmm. And that
simply a fragment of
that's what it boils down to, the ultimate, because that assures your position in your journey. Because if not, most people just bump, and they reincarnate, bump, and reincarnate, create karma, create and do all this. When you awaken, that's when you start enjoying the beauty of the universe as a whole. Your freedom to move by thought. These things. Right now, people are creating isolated worlds of terror, in my opinion.
Yes.
All these beliefs and all these people with attitudes. I mean, look at the elections in this country and the fight. And Hillary just came out of the woods and now she says resist. And it's like, now we got a war going on here in this country. Sad stuff.
But it's a distraction of
a distraction.
Focus.
Distraction of focus and all
distraction of focus. So once you get that you are the one, then you're willing to do what you need to do. You're willing to take care of business. You're willing to take care of your health if that is your choice. I mean, we all have the choices. Maybe you don't want to get well. Maybe you don't want to feel better. That's okay. But if you do want to, then you have to walk it.
Well, we realize the many becomes the one. And there's that old saying, are you a physical being having a spiritual experience here? Or are you a spiritual being having a physical experience? And of course, that's what it is. This is just a drama. This is just a movie you plugged in, had a body. You're the actor on the stage, but you're also the director. You're also the producer, believe it or not.
So really, things aren't that serious. It doesn't matter that much.
That's a good point.
I always say in 100 years, everything's going to be forgotten. It really doesn't matter.
There's only one thing that matters.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your awareness, your survival, your thing. To you. But then, well.
Yeah, and that's where we get caught in the outcome. So we get restricted in our own world of wanting to fix it. So beyond the physical and what you do, if you want to feel better, you should just let go of everything that restricts you into the outcome. Because we're taught to visualize our future and to look forward to the good stuff. Yeah. And of course, if you want to do something driven, if you have an action, if you want to write a book, of course you're going to have to, you have to write the words. But we're so locked in the outcome that we forget to just be in the now and let it be. We forget to just let flow and let God.
Well, that's a super excellent point, because there's two ways to write a book: through the mind or through consciousness. And you're writing yours through consciousness. And that's a big difference, because when you write it through the mind, you're trying to get facts and statistics and crap like this that really you're trying to play in the field of dreams and get information out of the field of dreams. It's just other people's theories and ideas. When you step back and put the mind in its own place, and you step back, when you write or when you talk or when you communicate with anyone, if you just live in that present moment and let it work through you, you will bring out a higher level, and in your own writing it'll come out and it'll enthuse others better. If you intellectually, it's a difference. I've given a lot of talks with medical doctors, and medical doctors tend to read their talks. And it's like, oh really? They're boring. Let me fall asleep before you get done, because if you don't know your subject matter, don't go give a talk on it.
Right.
If you know your subject matter, just let it rock. Who cares? You're talking to a bunch of friends, right? You look out at a group of people. Public speaking is a killer for a lot of people. Don't let it be. This is just a bunch of friends. Look at people that come to you as your friend, or one coming from the same source you're from, and welcome. And just share your individual awareness, what you've experienced. You don't have to try to be some intellectual geek. That puts you in the negative side. Yeah.
And I think people can use the same thing, like you said, with writing just from spirit, with their health when they're going through the fruit and the detox, without being mental about it or having this rigid plan. If you let go of having an audience, or people are going to watch you or look at you and see you're getting skinny, or ask you questions that you feel like you have to answer or you have to defend something, then you're in that mental state. If you can just pull back for that and just know that you're doing this for you and no one else, and that you are going to go by day, and you're going to do what feels right to you without having any, false beliefs knock on your door keeping you down, and everything is going to flow. And that's what I mean when I say you grow free through this. In yourself, you grow within, free from everything else that is pondering you with information and beliefs and conditionings. And look at what we've grown up in. our childhoods. And we can sit there and we can say, oh my God, my childhood was this and that, and, this is my reason for this and that. That's bullshit too. That was then. I mean, this is now. You're not a child anymore. And we can, of course, go to our inner child and we can nurture this and we can nurture that. But really, we need to get over it. Because the world today has also created a whole society of people that wants to kind of lull ourselves in this. And that's another lie.
That's another lie, I know. You have all levels, and you have to be careful to not get trapped in your own lie yourself.
Yeah.
Because the mind is so subtle that once you work in the now, the mind can actually drum that up for you, make you think you're in the now, but you're still in thought. It's just interesting.
Yeah.
But you brought up a good point in powering up of the self. We have so many people that are with loved ones or family members that don't go along with what they're going along with. And it wasn't you or someone asked me to do a video on that one time. And it's like, this is about you.
Yeah.
And if your husband, your wife, your mom, your dad doesn't get it, too bad. Because it's them, they're walking in their own paths. You're walking in your own path. And if you feel something's truth, no matter what it is, you have to ride that. And it's no one else's experience. And you can't, especially the female who's tend to be a lot codependent on the male, which we're trying to change that to you become the warrior woman that you all are.
We are taking back, yes.
Absolutely should. I've been saying this for years because I'm pro-feminine, because I 50-50.
Yeah,
I can look at my female side, I can look at my male side, because we're neither one. That's just duality.
Yeah.
You actually have both principles in you. You just, which side are you aligning yourself with? The male side or the female side? What if you didn't align yourself with any gender?
Yes.
Because you're not gender as soul or consciousness. You're not gendered. You're only gendered in embodiment.
Yeah. And we're also conditioned to keep to the outside expectations of
society
not only
and
the people.
everything.
Not only the people, but I can't do this because I have to go to this job or I have to do this. And of course, everything is a choice, and of course, you need to live. But we're piled up all these things that we think we need before getting healthy. It's like, would you be healthy or would you have a house?
Yeah.
If you have already come to the place where how your kids are feeling, and if you still have the house and all the jewelry and the clothes, if that is more important than health, then you are not letting go of what's keeping you there. Yeah. And this is tough. They're tough words, but to me, they're truth.
Well, it is, because
what are you willing to?
It's the old thing in flying in an airplane. They tell you, put your mask on the mother first, and then your child.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you're not alive, then no one else benefits.
Yeah.
That sort of speak.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of mamas out there with a lot of babies, and the mamas have got tumors in them all over, and it's sad to see what's going on out there.
So sad.
So you can see why we feel this is an urgent message for planet Earth. Man has to wake up. Now, remember, this is still creation. You still have souls that just got here. You have souls that have never been to this level of creation before, and those souls are not going to come aboard ever. They're just beginning their journey. So you have to understand that you have a myriad level of states of consciousness. Many are not ready for this level of understanding, and
that's okay. It's not about them.
No, it isn't.
Again,
it's about you.
It's about you.
It is.
Yeah.
It's totally. And when you're at this level and can understand what we're saying, you're free. You're done. If you take that on and get rid of the thoughts and the desires and all this,
then everything else is easy.
And then you become yourself.
Then you don't have to ask anymore. What do I do about cravings? You know what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You
exactly.
don't.
You don't have to ask anymore. Good
you don't
point.
have to ask anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the thing.
You create your power back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's what I suggest. Most of all, is just to connect with like-minded people that you can interact with and feel supported by and with. And again, once you know something, then you can always lend a hand to someone else. If you're not feeling well, look around and see, maybe I can serve. Maybe I can serve. And that's different from pleasing. And that's another big thing. We're pleasers.
That's your second stage.
Yeah. That's
the first stage is get to the self, get yourself fixed up. The second stage is start putting your hand out. You got what you need.
Yeah.
Now, to increase what you've got, you have to turn it around and start giving.
Yes. Giving is receiving.
Absolutely. Because if you...
And that's through pleasing. but through serving, not through pleasing.
Right.
Not being a pleaser, expecting anything.
Good
People
point.
expect something back.
Good
They're
point.
pleasing for
Good
the
point.
ego. They're pleasing because they
Exactly.
feel less than if they don't get the attention, or they think they have to be looked at as nice or good.
That's different than is it kind, is it true, is it necessary?
Yeah.
That's a little different.
Yeah.
You know, because
Serving.
But it opens your door more, because as you open yourself up to let the channel of God or that consciousness flow through your consciousness, you become that consciousness. It's part of the trick of surrendering. The old Sufi God absorption concept is when you start working in the present, you're actually surrendering creation to the outer part of yourself, and you are now aligning yourself back home again.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you'll see that all souls are moving back home in that way. And so it I don't know how to describe it.
Well, there's a nice quote I was thinking about when you said that. Infinite patience gives immediate results.
That's neat.
Peace.
Peace and
So
total
infinite
peace.
patience gives immediate results, which is peace.
And infinite patience would be infinite awareness, infinite now,
And then you get
being
the
in the
peace.
now, because that's the only way you get out of conflict, because the mind is conflictual. The mind is duality. Consciousness is one. So there's no duality to be conflictual to you, and that's part of that absorption or surrendering. That is another word for surrendering is giving. You know,
See?
because you don't. You've got your sukkar. You're not helping other souls to find their sukkar again, and it doesn't matter because you're already sukkard up. You already have your essence. Now you just have to keep surrendering and watch the trick of the mind that it doesn't grab you again. Because now you're in a battle between you and your thoughts and your mind, and it's tricky.
It is.
It is. Because that's the nature of keeping you in creation. Is throwing that cast of illusion over you, that life is dualistic, that everything is separate.
And that's why I think this conversation is so important, because your message of health, the lymph system, the kidneys, everything
Vital.
is so vital and
Vital.
natural and simplistic and
Vital.
obvious, and gives the message of hope and healing and peace. This is why this important message is at the top of the mountain for me, because you need to allow yourself to not only take that in, but to actually do that. And that's why I see people struggle. They struggle with their mind, with their mindset, with their fears,
Always.
with their peers, with their,
Always.
everything.
Always.
If not, they would just sit down and they would look at you and they just go do.
There's some people out there that cannot sit alone by themselves for 1 second.
Yeah.
I've said this before. I knew people that had a TV in every room. As soon as they got up, there was a TV in the bathroom, there's a TV in the kitchen. They could not spend time alone. You're not going to do well if you're one of those. You have to just break that. Go find you a place that you can be alone at. Even if you have a bunch of kids or whatever, go into your bedroom, shut the door, and this is your space. Your space to connect with you. Let that outer world go. It'll keep on going without you. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
It just keeps on going. That's creation. But you take that time alone with yourself, because that alone exists.
You're worth
We're
it.
all alone.
You're worth it.
Oh,
You're worth it.
Well,
It comes
you
down
can't-
to
you
people
can't
not
get away
feeling
from
worthy.
yourself.
They're not feeling worthy.
they're not feeling worthy.
They're not
And that's
feeling worthy.
Well, look at what our society does.
Yeah.
Rips you apart.
Yeah.
And that's sad, because there's no way you can ever get away from yourself. You can lie in misery for lifetimes.
Yeah, it's like I said, you can move, but you're taking yourself with you.
Yeah, I've said this before. Where are you going to go? You're going to go hide in the closet?
Yeah. Oh, you went
I'm
too.
here too.
Yeah.
I'm going to hide under the bed. Here I am too. You can't go anywhere without yourself.
True.
Yeah, it is. And
Yeah.
the problem is, it's not the body. It goes deeper. It's the self in awareness.
Yeah.
So fun stuff. And you guys are really kicking butt. We've got incredible people out there, don't we? I
we
mean,
do.
they are kicking.
And there's a big class. I heard it was the largest class coming in
Is
May.
the largest class coming
Largest
in May.
class. So there's
We
a
can
lot
even
of
open
people.
it. Yeah, I'm
learning.
trying to keep it down. Because we could have it even bigger, but you get too many people, it's difficult. For
Yeah.
me, because I like more one-on-one.
We're gonna try to just kind of bring in more people.
Yeah.
Even though I'm just kidding.
Fun stuff, no.
Yeah.
But I love
We should
it.
have thousands in front of it. That would be.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
In that car, I've spoken in front of thousands and thousands before. But I don't have much to say anymore spiritually, to be honest with you. Back in the day when I was younger, I used to talk about the God worlds and the different planes and the different cities and all that. And it's like, I don't have anything. It's all creation. It's like, okay,
for everything.
you can see anything you want. You can experience anything you want in creation. I mean, there's the good, the bad, and the ugly in creation. There's the most hideous things you've ever seen, and there's the most gorgeous, nirvanic things you've ever seen. It's got everything in it.
So what do you choose?
But it isn't you.
Yeah.
It's what it is, the experience of life. It's life manifesting in duality. So fun stuff. I love this book.
Well, thank you.
I
Robert.
love this because it's a natural progression.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, it's kind of the first step.
It is the first
but
step.
it's also the last step. Because
But the other two had to be done before this. But it's like it's the whole thing. The physical, the mental, the spiritual. You can't separate anything.
Yeah.
You can't separate.
You can't.
You can't separate anything.
You can't, and don't be afraid of the fruit. The fruit, the level of consciousness and vibration of the fruit is essential for man. And don't let anybody tell you fruit's too much sugar and crap like that. Remember, fruit is sweet as water is wet. And fruit still has simple sugar. It's simple sugar. You can get, if you're a diabetic, you can use fruit and your blood sugar will come down. Well, after you do this right, and your blood sugar will come down normally and everything is good. It's how you fix everything.
Yeah, the only thing is, if you run yourself into trouble and genes are not supporting an easy detoxification, just get a hold of a detox specialist or a coach, someone to support you. That's what, because you can always do it. A lot of people can do it by themselves. Some people don't. They need support.
And look at the coaches we have out here. These guys,
we're having fun. We're kicking butt. We're having fun.
Yeah,
we're having fun.
Oh.
But like I said, I work with people that are willing to do what needs to be done.
Exactly.
That's what I do. So there are other coaches that works with, other specific, but when I work with people, you need to be ready. You need to be able to,
I know.
Because we want to see.
That's why we have what we have here.
Yeah.
So different levels can be helped.
Yeah.
Because I'm like you. I'm a no bullshit kind of guy.
No,
you're going to do this or you're not
We're
going to do
spend
this.
our
Don't come to
time
me if
doing
you're not going to do this.
Yeah.
Because,
Do it.
I don't want to waste my time. I got millions of things to do. But this is your ride, your journey, and I'll be glad to hug you and give you a hand and walk with you.
Yeah.
We all
Me
will.
too.
But we're also in consciousness as well. So it's fun stuff. I love this research that found that
Let's end it with that. Let's end it with that. Cheer for the
cool
fruit. Read it again.
You've got to get this. This is cool stuff. And who's this too? Chimps, which have the biggest primate brains, eat far more fruit than other primates. Now this is another doctor that's saying, credit Dr. James Higham. And he said that chimps, which have the biggest primate brains, eat far more fruit than other primates. This is just part of this article.
Yeah.
And it's just incredible to read this. I have to take my hat off to this Sarah
It says here too. Scientists have discovered a link between the amount of fruit eaten by primates and the size of their brains.
I'm telling you.
There you have it.
There you have it. And more we're picking up this. We're picking up this kind of credits for the fruit, but we're also seeing the effects of protein and the negative effects and all the
we're living both sides.
Both sides.
But we've been living the other side for so long. It's time to cut the crap and let the shit hit the fan.
They originally thought that primates' brains were so big because of their social maneuverings and interactions. But that's not what they're coming up to find. Researchers at New York University believe primates and humans actually are their way to a bigger, more complex brain. This is cool stuff. Are humans and other primates big brain because of social pressures? No. And it gets in there, and it really, this is a nice article.
Yeah.
And
for people that need something to support them, then they can look that up. Do you know where it's from?
This was from the Telegraph.
Okay, so they could probably find it. What's the name of the one? Okay,
would you, Adam and Eva?
Science editor, Sarah
her name is Sarah Knapton.
Yeah.
Knapton. This is March 27th at 5:39.
This is
good stuff. I love this stuff because it really fits into what we're doing. And so get this kind of stuff when you're dealing with the public and you're dealing with your clients and say, well, here, read this.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're doing here. We've got
You're great with that. You're collecting all of that, and that's fantastic.
We got Attila collecting,
Yeah.
Pat collecting, Marcy's collecting. We're redoing the Irish charts. We're doing it properly this time. There's so many things going on here you can't even believe it. We're collecting
We're doing such a
scientific
great
evidence
job.
because the FDA has been a big thorn in the butt of everybody in terms of being pro-pharmaceutical and not pro-natural health. So we're going to have some fun here.
And look at your legacy. I mean, look at your legacy.
It's a legacy of God, man. I mean, I'm just here as a
The journey
God
of
person.
one man.
Yeah, but
You know?
I just like to give it out.
We love you.
I love you guys.
Well, thank you for letting me drop by.
Oh
and to have
no,
these
it's
talks.
fun stuff. You want to say anything else? You said.
Well,
Now, hard to say. Here's
It is-
one of the problems that you get into.
Yeah.
Is that when you first start out, it's exciting and you have a lot to say. And it's the same thing spiritually. But when you start connecting to the now, there's nothing to say about it. It
now
just
I'm more
is.
like, okay, read, read. It's like, let's just say it's true. It's like you get everything down, but the information is out there.
It is getting out there.
It is out there. So
Well,
these videos are more for inspiration, so that you can kind of
Yeah.
get into that. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We get reminders.
We have some of the best YouTubers on the planet. I'm going to tell you, these guys are gorgeous, and you guys are helping other people.
And I
I'm
love
hearing,
this.
yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Some guys say I got to move it over because it makes me look like I have rabbit ears. But you're over there, and
We
I'm
love
over.
rabbit ears.
Yeah, I love little.
Get over
bunnies.
here a little more.
Oh,
Good.
okay.
See, now we have
There
it.
we go.
Yeah, we love rabbit ears.
But I am so proud of that. We're, like I say, we're trying to collect so much information here for you to tie this in because the medical consciousness is stuck. And it needs to pry itself out and open itself up and get itself free. Too many people getting hurt and stuff over bullshit philosophies that have.
But I still wish we can make some centers, though, that the people would open centers around the world so that people that are, they have a hard time doing it themselves, or they find that they're in a home that's not supportive, that they would have a place to go.
Yeah.
So that's something that we can, work towards and wish for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And never be afraid of fruit. Now, here's the
No.
thing. Fruit is powerful, and sometimes too powerful for those that are very, very sick. So sometimes you have to step down to the green drinks or something a little bit, but never be afraid of the fruit. It's active, it's astringent, it will stir things up, it'll make your skin look worse, it can stir things up, but it's stirring things up, it's hydrating, it's getting things going. Most people are glomulated and going down into a little fetal position and hard as a rock again. This loosens and moves and gets things going.
Oh,
so,
let me tell you. And you can't jump right in without putting your toe in first. You have to work with it, because in there it could be burning hot. Like I could not even have one orange. Only like 3 years ago, I couldn't have one orange in my juice. It would burn my stomach.
Yeah,
I'd had
yeah,
ulcers
yeah.
for 15,
Oh,
20
gosh.
years. Now, I literally live on oranges.
Yeah. I remember
Oranges and
those
berries, that's almost all that I ingest.
I remember those early days with you.
Oh, yeah.
I do. I remember
couldn't have
having a
it
Skype with
lemon,
you,
I
and
couldn't
you're
have
in
anything.
bed full of pain, and I'm having a Skype with you.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember those
Yeah.
days.
So I know how, hard it can be.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
If
I do.
anybody does, you do.
Yeah.
Some of you guys have been through hell and back and back. You're
Literally.
back.
Yes.
And that's the thing. You don't have to stay there. And the problem is a lot of people don't have the information and the tools to get out of it.
Yeah.
That's why we do these videos, to spread this out. And all you beautiful souls out there, spread it out, because the suffering on this planet is gigantic.
I know, and
have
more people are
seen-
writing books, and that's
Oh.
good. Like I had the 2 other ones, like Know the Truth and Get Healthy, and I see others that are walking through their healing, and they're writing about it and getting it out there, because
You
it's
guys
out there
like-
for everyone.
Yep.
And if you don't have any money, because I know a lot of people are also watching, they don't have any money and they can't hire anyone, well, they can read a book.
Or watch a
they
video.
can watch a video.
Exactly.
Or they can just go buy some fruit and
And use teas. We got
Yeah.
teas. We got
And eat
things to
less.
help you in that way.
And
eat
dry
less.
fast.
Dry fast. That
free.
dry fasting is a
It is
great
huge. It
good
is
key,
huge.
and thanks to
It is
you,
huge.
you're one of the big people that brought that out. Even you convinced me that it was viable.
Yeah, now, like intermittently, like now, for 1 year now, I've been fasting 36 hours every week. Every week. And I can feel it's never going to leave me. It's part of a cycle. And I think, you go back to the Bible, what does it say? Rest.
Rest.
You have 1 day a
40 days
week,
and 40
you
nights.
rest.
Fasting 40 days
Yeah,
and 40
or
nights.
even
Travel out of the body.
Sabbath, every week,
Rest.
rest.
And fast on Friday.
So
But
to me, it seems like a cycle. Like 1 day every week, my body doesn't want anything in. Nothing liquid, nothing solid.
And if you've been following her, what you see is she looks better, better, better.
Ooh.
The skin looks better, more vibrant. Every time I see you, you look better, filled, vibrant. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's cool stuff to see that, because I've watched you through this whole growth thing. You know, even just everything you went through.
How the body fixes. Like at my age, a lot of people, they fix their eyes and here and there, and I used to have those eyes too.
Well, you remember your bone and skeletal issues.
Yeah.
And look at what happened there. Yeah. You went right through that. You drove your car through that. Your body repaired itself fast on fruit.
Yes, on fruit.
And herbs, I mean.
And I was even surprised in the beginning.
Shocked you?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Because, it's easy. I did the fruit for many years, but I also did vegetables. I was green juicing for years, thinking that those amino acids would, keep me balanced.
Well, I even think that.
Blah, blah, blah.
I even think that to some extent sometimes, not anymore.
Not so much.
Not so much.
No, since, what I've been experiencing, and on fruits only and berries.
Oh, the berries.
I'm seeing more appear now than I did when I was doing vegetables. The berries.
The good fruits and berries. This is the power, nutrition, energy, taste.
Yeah,
it's
taste.
A brain food.
Look at
taste.
Show a child berries. They would never pick candy over berries.
Never. Think about this. Yeah. Think about a peach you buy in, say, Publix or Walmart, and then you go and take a tree-ripe peach.
Yeah.
When you say fruit, don't think Walmart fruit.
Yeah.
Think tree-ripe fruit. That's fruit.
Sad,
don't think grocery store fruit.
But a lot of people can't get home. See, that's the sad part.
Well,
and people are calling, from cold countries. Well, that's another thing.
Our
The
Canadian
experience
friends are having a hard time.
Yeah.
Our Canadian friends with grapes, especially organic grapes and getting grapes. Our Alaskan friends pay out the butt for grapes.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking $10 or
See, but the positive is you can always do the best with what you have. People say, I can't do it in the cold. Well, I did. And you can't do it in northern. Well, you can. I did. You just have to decide. And again, you don't have to have all that variety that you think you do. See, that's where you get kind of lost when you go and do. Yeah. If you only can get organic bananas and some frozen berries, if that's all you can get for 3 months in the winter, you're good.
That's all you need.
You're good to go. Then you're going to stack up all summer. All the northern countries, they're filled up with apple trees, pears, berries. They're berry heaven. Much more than here in the tropics. We have the best berries in the world. So I live on berries the whole summer, and then I freeze for the winter when I have to stay in Norway for winter. And it works fine.
Yep. Norwegian blood. I Viking. I conquer.
Yeah. So that's why you have to walk barefoot in the snow. That's another thing. Everybody knows me. Knows that.
Barefoot in the snow.
Barefoot. I'm like grounding.
Snow.
I don't care. If it's winter or summer, I don't care. Take off your shoes and get on the ground. I mean, the cold is alkalizing. It's detoxing.
It is.
You can play with it instead of seeing it as an opponent, like someone that's going to restrict you, or I'm too cold. And I'm always saying, well, guess what? The food is not what's heating you. The food is not. The more fruit I eat, the more cold I can take.
But you fix yourself.
Right, so that's
See,
what I'm
you've
saying.
been fixing yourself. Absolutely.
In the beginning,
exactly.
put on some clothes.
That's it.
You don't have to eat warm food.
Right.
Put on some clothes. And do it that way.
Yep. I agree 100%.
And slowly, you'll feel warmer on just fruit, even if it is freezing cold outside. Then go outside, take off your shoes. 3 seconds in the snow on your bare foot, put on your socks again and go inside. It's conditioning.
I love it. No, I love it. I love it. But coming from cold countries,
I know.
You can tell that the Homo sapien is not a cold country being.
No, we're not.
Really,
some of us just obviously took the challenge. I don't know.
I
don't know.
But some of you are stuck in places where this is difficult. It really brings up a good point here. When you're suffering with tumors and everything else in you and high acidosis, you're going to be as strict as you can.
Yeah.
And you know what? Just belly up and be as strict as you can. Yeah. Tell yourself, if you have to, look, I'll eat this later.
Yeah.
Make that a personal challenge. Exactly. Put that candy bar right there and just let it stay right there. That Twinkie over there.
Just be on a mission for a month or two. Just say, I'm going to do this for 1 month. I'm not going to think what I'm going to do after. I don't care.
I'll eat that later.
Yeah, right now.
It's still there for me.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to freak out.
And you're not going to want it. So
it's it.
I'm not going to want it.
And when you do, it's like, oh,
Yeah. And then you're not going to want it the next time. Maybe you'd have to be hit down like 3-4 times. I don't know.
I did have one Twinkie that gave me a little pneumonic, but I think the Masters were playing with me on that one. I'm pretty sure.
You probably had to experience that.
These guys were playing.
Now you have a good story you can tell.
I got some good stories. These spiritual beings, they can play with you sometimes, and it's like, oh yeah.
Are you experiencing it that they're more present now than they were?
I think they're very much more present now than they were, but different levels.
Yeah.
I think what this planet was introduced to the now, even back in Timothy Leary's day, LSD, window pane, those things got predominant back in the Timothy Leary days. And so then you had Ram Dass, Albert, what's his name, who was a friend of Timothy Leary's, go to India where Timothy Leary was still dunking himself in tanks. And just trying to have OBEs, out-of-body experiences, and things like this. And so when Ram Dass met this spiritual being over there that he claimed was a master, his master, or this spiritual being, says, "What you got in your pocket?" I remember the story he tells, and Ram Dass had a whole pocket full of LSD pills. And he goes, he says, "You need those not." And he took the whole bottle of LSD pills, took them down and sit there and smiled at him. I mean, this is the power you can develop. You can develop a power and awareness. I have a friend that can take his body, physical body, and take it apart molecularly. I tell you, the power that's out there. Some of these spiritual beings are extreme in their abilities. They have to cut it down to even be here. That's the sad thing, is you have to cut your energy way down to be here at this level.
That's why we're here, though. I mean, we are here in the body. And I don't think that, we're getting necessarily anywhere by wishing we weren't. Because a lot of people are working so much on the opening, getting out of the body, that why's the use of being here? You're here for the human experience. So that's why I'll talk a lot about the grounding also. You can work on letting everything go, opening everything, and getting rid of all the obstructions, but still, you're in this body, and you should stay here.
You're talking to, you're talking to some souls, though, that this is their last ride at this level, and they need that freedom of the mind to break that hold, and they're out of here.
Yeah.
A lot of you are ready to go from here.
Yeah.
Some of you just got here. Some, fine, enjoy the ride, have fun, do whatever. But there's tools we're giving you to have a better journey while you're here. Some of you that are ready, get your stuff and go. We're going. You gotta let things go. Who cares about this world? Because your experience is going. You can't even hold a cup to the experience of these God worlds, these higher God worlds than this world. And then pure consciousness. There's nothing you can say about it. It is. The ultimate of the ultimates, if you had to separate anything and say anything about who you are, and the amount of awareness and the amount of brilliance you are. They claim just a single individualized entity is billions of suns bright energetically. So it's just amazing. The light of you have been so cut down to be here. This is such a finite world of expression, such a chemical world of expression, but you've got to get with that and understand chemistry does rule, but it's ruled through consciousness. And that's understanding how all that is, and that's why understanding the types of foods, the fruits, and all that.
And you can have fun with it.
Oh,
you can use the brain. You can use being here. You can just have fun with it without being stuck in it.
Oh yeah. But you got to get to that point.
There is a difference between pain and suffering.
It is. It's true. And you just can't take this world serious. This is a world of cause and effect, and what you're experiencing, you caused.
Yeah.
You have to understand that. So you will not always see how you created what you're experiencing, because it doesn't always happen in this lifetime. That's the illusion. But as things are speeding up here, as you see, you're starting to see cause and effect quicker. You pull out in front of somebody in your car, keep watching, someone's going to pull out in front of you
and
just
you can
down
see
the
your
road.
Beliefs.
Yeah.
You can see your beliefs. Like, I don't believe that. Well, look at your life.
Yeah.
You are believing it. You're subconsciously believing it.
For me, a message would be, don't have any belief systems.
Yeah.
Your belief system is a ball and chain around your neck, whether it's religion, whether it's philosophy, whether it is science. Be careful with belief systems, because you just locked yourself down to a structure, and that structure could be falsely placed. You want to let go.
Most likely. All the systems would be.
Creation.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's designed to keep you
But you can go in, you can watch, you can read, you can take it back.
That's the beauty of
Have
freedom.
fun with it. You
That's
know?
the beauty of your freedom.
Take what you
talking
want,
about.
leave the rest. Take what you want, leave the rest.
Beauty of your freedom you're talking about.
It's like you can listen to all and follow no one.
Absolutely. But enjoy the ride, because getting well, and Hilde's a good example of what fruit perseverance does to you. What perseverance and persistence and not taking that, not paying attention. I will work my body through this. I will conquer this. And she did it. And a lot of you've done this. Yes, some healing crises are painful. Yeah. Some are up and down. Some are emotionally ripping. Some are mentally ripping. Yeah. It can rip you up.
That's a whole other video. We should do
it's a whole other video.
Emotional.
Emotional. Yeah. But it rips you for a reason. And if something rips you, you're holding on too tight.
Oh, yeah.
You're owning it too much.
Yeah.
Don't let it go. Yeah. If a door won't open, don't push it, because I guarantee you, if you push a door open that won't open, you'll regret opening it. God doesn't want you to open that door, and I've done that so many times.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm a big knocker.
Yeah, I'm a big knocker. Wrong door. But like, generally, you walk through to get it. Oh no! Yeah. Fun stuff though.
Yeah, it is.
But that's creation.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, just let things go. Nothing's important here, because nothing is static here. Everything is always in flux, and things are always changing. What you have today is gone tomorrow. That beautiful shiny Corvette you got, a pretty thing. The next day it's gone. You got something else. Yeah. You can't worry about that. You just enjoy it for that moment.
If health is what you want, and you get on that journey, you just do it. I always say you don't have a plan B.
Just do it. Was that Nike? Was that Nike? Just do it, or was that the military one? All of you using these words.
That is Nike.
Just do it.
And that's a good one. They took it.
All these little sayings are there for a reason, to help you slowly pull yourself back to that moment of time. Yeah. Back, if you watch the journey of spirituality, you can see how that consciousness was introduced. Then it went through metamorphoses, and it was really powerful at first. And now you just see that presented to this planet, the present moment, from those earlier days to now. Yeah. And now more and more people are talking about the now, the presence, and doing that. So
but then the other side is getting more aggressive also.
Well, that's the other point.
It's on the tail. Yes. It's trying to scratch, so I get that. It is hard.
But it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and hard is not, who cares if it's hard?
All right, so here's duality, right? Yeah. So if spirituality and positive goes up, guess who's got to come up with it? You're going to got a little teeter-totter. Right. But if you're pulling one up, the other's going to follow you. Yeah. That's okay. Let it. But you want to work out of the worlds of duality, positive and negative. Okay, that's outside of you. You live in a world of one. There is no duality in consciousness, but in thought there is. So it's learning creation, but that's in our class. We teach that. Some of you are going to, these classes should be fun though this time. I always have fun at our classes. So I don't know. I don't have anything else to really bring out here on that.
I think we're good.
I think we're good.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. And this is Florida.
Oh.
I
love
very
Florida. I tell you, it is. I just wish we had better fruits.
Well, I love the fruits. I do.
From where you are.
I do. You know what? I get organic papayas. Oh. I get organic papayas.
Now,
and that's a treat for me.
You know what's coming in a couple months?
Mangoes. There you go.
And I mean mangoes. Right. There you go. I showed them last year. Well, this year my mango trees are going to be going, because we didn't have a freeze.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have so much fruit this year. Mangoes. I'm going to pile them all over the top of my desk.
Don't you want some? When you hear that, don't you want the fruit?
Yeah. These mangoes are unbelievable. Yeah. Dr. Jensen used to fly here out from California just to get these one mangoes.
Wow. Well, looking forward to it.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you
guys.
We love you. Bye.
Bye. That red button. See that red button in there? Just push in.
You learn adding the the lower adrenals.
Yeah, because in the glandulars they can get saturation after a point.
Yeah, I remember that with myself
too.
The
licorice, but she will experience some fatigue with that, and it's a building scenario. It's not that you're getting worse; you're already down. Yeah. That's the illusion.
You're just seeing how down you are.
You see how down you are. See, because they're only using things to help you.
That's scary. But how would you think by weaning off? Like how?
how to titrate off of that?
Yeah, will you do like...
Well, in other words, you either go every other day,
yeah,
or you cut your dosages in half.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, you're backing it up with an alkaline hydrating program, the food program, because that's an antispasmodic program.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at fruits...
She's on an extended herbal protocol.
Good.
We've been able to pick them up in Sweden and drive them over. So
perfect.
Got her herbs. Yeah.
Perfect, because you got to realize that Hilde's backing you up with all kinds of power. Just because your body feels fatigued, that's a natural response. That's your adrenal glands. When you understand that, that's neurotransmitters. That's low neurotransmitters. Well, that's how you lost your myelin sheaths.
Right.
The other part of this is the connection the adrenals have to your kidneys and the great lymphatic system, and that's where you get into the brain lesions.
She's already filtering. After a couple of months on fruits, she's already filtering.
Wow.
So that's good.
Wow, that's perfect.
And she's very, her eyes shows a lot of...
That's it. Good stuff.
So got her on GI Broom, and that's another thing.
Because
take it from that.
It just takes time, my dear one. But I will tell you, there's only one way you can overcome this, and that's to be on the high fruit, berries, and melon program. At least the high fruit and berries, because that's the only way that we've ever seen nerve regeneration.
Yeah.
And tie that to what this study is here on primates, and the fact that the more fruit they eat, the bigger the brains, and that now science is linking man to fruit eating, that it's essential that man eat fruit for the size of his brain. And that shows you the importance of this chemistry and energetics. So don't be afraid to be able to do this, but be afraid that what you don't do this. Because if you don't get these acids out of your tissues, you'll continue to get deeper brain lesions, and there's nothing you can do pharmaceutical about that.
No.
This is you have a whole system down.
But this is only perseverance.
Absolutely.
That's what it's about.
Perseverance.
How
It
long
could take you a year and a half.
And going.
It could take you a year and a half easy to do
and
this.
she's the soul that's going to do it. I mean, that's why I work with her.
At least she's not in the
she's
chair.
ready. She said, I got 3 years. I mean, she's ready. But she has a very concerned husband.
Well, the husband
that has been coming home from work. Maybe if she's been laying on the floor, she's called him saying, "I can't, get into my bed again," and he's concerned. So I think he also needs to hear this. Yeah,
the husband is it because we're total into regeneration of tissue.
Yeah.
There's no one out there that's into the regeneration of tissue, but our group like this. There's talk of it, but unless you understand what we understand about the body and the lymphatic system and acidosis, then you're pretty much living in the world of pseudo diseases and things like that. Because what you're experiencing is cause and effect, my dear one, and you have to understand what acids do to your body, and that's what's happening to you. And the acid, your own metabolitic acids, can blow back on you and lose the myelin sheaths, and brain lesions are nothing but acids breaking down tissue.
Okay, so on top of, just to make it short, she's on the GI Broom, and of course brain and nerve, blah blah, upper circ, and the kidney, and just one little lymphatic thing. She's on the CBD oil, get triple doses of that.
Good deal.
To think it would,
well, it's anti-inflammatory. It's a big thing about the oil. Anything that's anti-inflammatory is some degree antispasmodic because it's antacid.
Yeah.
They all are fits in those categories. Antacid, anti-inflammatory, antispasmodic, all fit in that.
The only one thing is, I'm thinking I didn't add the licorice on top. I have the adrenal glandular and the adrenal herb. So I will get you some adrenal.
The licorice root will bring up her blood pressure, increase your neurotransmitter.
So how much you should take of the one you have? How much?
I would do a dropperful.
A dropperful a day?
Along with her a dropperful with her adrenal dropperful 3 times a day.
Okay, so at the same pace as the other herbs.
What's her blood pressure, do we know?
We don't know right now, no.
Have your blood pressure checked sometime, sweetheart, and check both arms. And see what you're doing, because that's your adrenal glands. The top number is what you want. The bottom number needs to be in the 60s. That's your kidney pressure. The top number is your concern, because that is your neurotransmitters. Cardiac punch, we call it, but it's your neurotransmitters for your autonomic nervous system, which is the one you have down. And that's the one you got to fix. And that requires...
But if we're doing like the adrenal glandulars and the herbs and the licorice, then we're doing an aggressive protocol for the...
Yeah, you're doing as aggressive as you need to do. It's just time, because you have to allow her body to start eliminating these acids, hydrate, eliminate any neurotransmitters she might be involved in that shut her down even more, has to come out. So she's in a process.
But the thing is, it is hard to heal fully while you take these medications. It would be almost impossible. Could we say that honestly?
You're going to heal slowly, but to get to where you want to get, you have to drop them. You'll have to, but don't be afraid to drop pharmaceuticals for replacement of herbs. And I said she's a club member somewhat, because
No, we had to go through.
Okay, so I just have to Yeah, I can only say so much about that.
Yeah.
But I don't live in the world of diseases. That's an illusionary concept.
So this is just a disclaimer. There's no doctor here and no diagnosis and no treatment of any disease.
I'm a chemist and I love physics. And when you look at life through chemistry and physics, you start to have a deeper understanding of what you're involved in and how it works.
Yeah.
So she'll get you out of this, but you want to listen to her and follow her because she's got herself out of Hellville herself.
Yeah.
So learning the violence, you'll learn things from Hilde that it will tear your consciousness because there's so much propaganda and untruths, and your husband might be remembering some of this stuff that's out there, a lot of propaganda. Ask yourself, how many people does the medical doctors cure of Parkinson's? None. How many diseases do medical doctors cure? Period. None. You have to understand that. To understand that, don't be afraid to leave a modality that doesn't even know what causes this and can't cure it to someone that knows what's causing it and that can cure it. Never be afraid to leave that darkness.
No, and she's good with that. I think she's very good with that. It's just the transition, I think, the medications and the herbs. But you don't feel like all the herbs are going to...
There's some antagonistic there.
Yeah, there's not going to be like a negative effect.
Here's what we want to
do.
Reverse pyramid it.
Yeah.
Hit her where she needs to be hit at first. Go after gallbladders, livers, get everything straightened up, your digestion, everything, but you're going down because in the final analysis, your only focus is going to be endocrine glands, neurological, and the lymphatic system.
Yeah.
Oh, your GI tract, you're going to concentrate, but your focus is going to be narrowed.
Yeah.
It's not about how much, it's your focus.
Yeah.
Take care of all the stuff that you need to take care of.
And get some energy in there,
exactly.
for all
but you're always going to go after the endocrine glands. You're always going to go after her nervous system, which is controlled by the endocrine glands. So you're
I would do brain and nerve upper circuit for 4 years. Like forever.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Until she gets herself out of this.
And then some.
Yep. Because
so that's good.
It is the best form.
Well, thank you, Robert. And I know you appreciate it. So I'll bring you some licorice root and keep on going. And Robert says, hang in there, you'll get there.
Oh yeah, hang in there. No matter what you see, what you go through, it's worth the ride. You'll start to feel your stamina growing and growing. It won't be like one day you wake up and you're totally here. It's a process of growth and repair.
And you can get some down. I mean, you can have some days where you're probably laying in bed and you can't move.
And you can have some up days you feel like you can run around the block. So the most important thing is conserve energy. Do not, your adrenals are like a battery recharger, and your myelin sheaths are like the battery. So your battery recharger, the adrenals, that's what's chronic in you. You have to fix that. In that process, it'll build and build and build yourself up. If you keep tearing that energy away, then you keep going up. So conserve.
And that's it's so important. Once you get extra energy, just don't spend it.
Yeah, conserve it.
Because I used to spend everything.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I have a little bit. I can do this now.
I know.
And then you spend it, and you don't let the body use it.
Exactly. Conserve it.
Yeah.
And let it build and build and build, and you're rebuilding.
So you can still rest. Even if you have some energy, you can still rest.
Absolutely.
Rest.
Absolutely. Use it for your consciousness.
Yeah.
Not your thinking, your consciousness.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.